Hi guys, welcome to the Web Planning channel, and today we're going to be talking about whether the South African Revenue Service actually headhunts black successful people. Let's get into it. It's important to realize as I make this video that I'm speaking out of my experience as a registered tax practitioner. I'm speaking from experience as an accountant and just having done so many things with so many clients. And I mean, for me, you must remember I take an oath to do books, I take an oath to do good business, and of course I get exposed to many types of transactions, and it's very important for me to advise clients in order to make sure they stay out of trouble, because at the end of the day, people non-compliance is a matter of choice at the end of the day. And I think as I go through my list, you'll start to realize that exactly, rather than it being something that actually is, this conspiracy theory of the Hawks or SARS actually targeting black people. Let's get through the list right now. Now, this is a dead giveaway, right? If there is some corrupt activity surrounding any business activity, that warrants an investigation. So, without saying, if there's a hint of corruption within your business activities, most likely it's going to be either handled by the police. But if it's high level enough or is that organized, then you're going to have the hawks being sent to you. And of course, I mean, people that commit crime end up not being tax compliant somehow, because there's some monies that they want to make sure that are hidden, some monies that they don't want to pay tax with, or monies that they just don't want tracked. So one of the reasons why people also get into trouble with SARS and hawks is simply because of corrupt activity. Now, this one can be similar to corruption, but one can have suspicious account activity. Now, this one is important because most people don't realize that when you're actually registered with SARS, e-filing and so on, you're actually declaring your bank accounts to SARS. And SARS actually has the ability to go into accounts and see what they need to see. I mean, they have already been given permission. Of course, they don't just do it at will, but they do get certain, court orders and such and such. Should there be a reason to actually do this and they're willing to go through the trouble, they can do it. There have been cases in the past whereby people have been, getting some money taken out of their account because SARS is busy, making some not transactions, but they are making calculations based on certain returns that they were done in a certain way, and then they subsequently just take their money that is due to them. Now, this has been an activity that the courts have instructed SARS should not do. It must give taxpayers enough, opportunity to observe their tax obligation, even in the situation whereby it could be that the taxpayer isn't the wrong, but at the end of the day, suspicious account activity like, withdrawing big amounts, no declaration from a VAT point of view. Because remember, guys, at the end of the day, money going out, it has to go somewhere. Things have to balance, and most of the time, if you're doing suspicious activity, it will be tracked. Banks do talk to SARS and vice versa, and at the end of the day, that information could put you in a situation that you do not want to be in. So it's very important. Remember, everything is all about accountability. It's all about recording. Everything must balance. If something gets out on the left hand side, it needs to be balanced on what is done on the right hand side. So remember, guys, suspicious account activity is another giveaway. Tip-offs. Of course, lately now there's been a crackdown on corruption. A lot of whistleblowers are coming through. So of course, people talk, people see you're busy enjoying your life or your business, there's a spike, whatever the case may be. You could be dealing with people that are fishing for information and they're trying to find out what's going on, and they can tip off the authorities. So this is one of those ways which, some people believe it works, some people don't believe it works. But it's very important that when you talk about tip-offs, we hope that it's done in a way that to really deal with criminals who were disguised as normal citizens. But also, us as accountants, we are instructed that if we see something that does not, look so good, we have to talk to the authorities. We can do this under, anonymity, or you can just say, I am this person's practitioner, and I suspect 1, 2, 3. So yes, at the end of the day, tip-offs is one of those things that also bring up that red flag. So you get some people that flash their lifestyle, and that is not the sole reason why these authorities actually go after people. The real reason is simply because they are busy doing lifestyle audits. I'm gonna tackle this more as I go down the list. But for now, living a lavish life, living a loud life, whether you are doing good business or bad business, or illegal business, whatever the case may be, this will bring attention to you. There will be some sort of scrutiny, no doubt, and that's why you do not want to be doing things in bad taste. You look at the case here, Mamkiza, you look at the case of Hamilton and Global. These are people that at one point of their lives they were doing things so extravagantly, they were doing things in such manner that at the end of the day, what does SARS do? SARS does a mini audit. They just basically look, okay, if you're living a certain lifestyle, does it balance with your declared financial activity? If it doesn't, then that's where now they start going to make queries about your life. They start going after you, and essentially that's what it is. It's not necessary to say that just because you have lots of money, just because you have so many, you're buying all these expensive things, then what happens is they just go after you. No, that's not effective. What happens is they do soft queries, and when they do these soft queries and they start seeing a case is building, that's where they go after you. Another reason is that SARS needs the money. The government needs the money. So what I'm trying to say here is, with COVID-19 having happened, lockdown, economy being hit, if subsequently that means production at a macroeconomic level has been interrupted. And what this means is that there's going to be less tax that is going to be collected for the 2020-2021 fiscal year. What this also means that government will have a budget shortfall. And now if you look at what's happened, there's been so much relief schemes, there's been so much money from a government perspective that's been paid out to help citizens to basically go through lockdown and all sorts of things. SARS right now is on a dedicated path to make sure that they get their money back, because there's going to be a budget deficit. And this thing is going to hit us, and it's going to hit us in multiple ways. First of all, yes, there's going to be greater scrutiny from a SARS point of view in terms of them chasing after taxpayers that are not compliant, making sure that taxpayers are compliant. There's a lot more communication coming from SARS. There's a lot of communication coming to us as tax practitioners, being told that we need to make sure that our clients are up to date, our clients are compliant, because at the end of the day they'll be denied opportunity to apply for grants or denied opportunity for business further, especially if they're dealing with government tenders and so on. So there's a lot going on from a SARS point of view that they are trying their best to make sure that they get the money that they're supposed to be getting from a tax collection point of view back. And right now they're going harder than ever to make sure they get that money. And obviously with more scrutiny, it means that a lot of things that usually go by are not gonna go by. So one needs to be careful about these things, because at the end of the day, this is why SARS comes after you. Because the minute you start appearing all big and almighty, they're gonna make sure you actually observing your tax compliance. So that's another reason why they go after people. Income tax and VAT. Now, this one is one of the biggest ones, I believe, because at the end of the day, tax compliance is a very important thing. You'll notice that many clients come to us just because they want to apply for something, or they want to apply for a tender, whatever the case may be, and they just want the tax clearance certificate, they want the green tax status. And this is quite, an annoyance from an accounting point of view, that people are coming at emergencies. And the unfortunate thing is, people need to understand planning is very key. Doing things in a predetermined manner is the best thing. So why do people get caught out in terms of income tax and VAT? Now, the simple thing is, many people from an income tax point of view, they do not use the opportunity of paying provisional tax efficiently enough. Another thing that gets a lot of entrepreneurs is value added tax, VAT. Now, VAT is one of those things that is actually dealt with more regularly than income tax, because income tax is every 12 months. And the issue with VAT is that many people are forced to register for VAT, and they end up going to register for VAT, but they don't understand the consequence of actually having a VAT registration. Now, the consequence of having a VAT registration comes down to planning. In other words, when you're quoting for pricing, when you're just basically costing your services and your products. Remember now, we talk about VAT exclusivity. Every time when you quote something or when you're charging someone, make sure you quote them exclusive of VAT. In other words, if you intend on making 100 rands, charge someone 100 rands and then you add your VAT. Do not just charge a certain amount, you say 100 rand and then it's inclusive of VAT. You're going to have serious problems, and that's why a lot of people don't end up paying their taxes, simply because they are underquoting, because they are not quoting correctly considering VAT, and that ends up putting them in a situation whereby they thought they're gonna make 30% profit, they end up making 15% or even 10% in some cases. So it's very important to realize that when you're dealing with VAT, a lot changes. It's not business as normal. That's why it's very important when you have VAT that you do have a registered accountant. Like Bright Planning, come to us, we will assist you to help you to make sure that you quote right. You do not quote to a point where you start eating your profits away and you end up doing a job where you get literally almost nothing, because that's why people end up not paying for VAT. And this is very problematic because VAT is observed on a monthly to bi-monthly basis, and if you don't pay it, guess what happens? Interest occurs, administrative penalties. You're going to end up paying a huge tax bill. And also, because some people, they are busy with dodgy situations, their VAT situation is one of the things that definitely exposes them. These are the things that give SARS an indication, like, oh, this is what's happening. You're not declaring there's irregular claims from a VAT point of view. And mind you guys, to get VAT refunds means that you are getting you are actually making a loss in your business. So so it's not a good thing in typical sense to get a VAT refund, because that means that your business is actually not making a profit. You're actually incurring more costs that you're actually making money coming into your business. So it's very important to actually understand that in a way that you can function properly in the business. Because remember guys, the main thing for your business is to be profitable, to maximize profitability. So get in touch with Bright Planning so we can help you maximize your profitability, because this is very important. Many people get caught by SARS and all simply because they're not managing their income tax and VAT appropriately. Now the biggest one that really gets the hawks and SARS on your back: lifestyle audits and pay as you earn. Now, what am I talking about here? It's very important to realize, guys, that you and your business are two separate entities. In other words, your business is regarded as, from a legal point of view, as a juristic person, and then you, as the owner, you are a natural person. So there's a very important thing that's going on here, because many people assume that when you start a business, you don't have to start paying employees tax or pay as you earn only when you start hiring people. That's false. In fact, when you register your business, you are by default the number one employee. Now, what does that mean? It means that there's only certain ways that you can get benefits from your money. In other words, there's a certain way that you need to get paid from your money. So also, what that means is, when you are making money on your business, that money does not belong to you. It belongs to your business, because your business is a separable entity, and you have to be paid a salary or dividends or loaned from your business to you. I always say to clients, guys, if you're gonna make 100 million or a billion, that is not your billion. You're not a billionaire. You're not a centimillionaire, whatever, multimillionaire. You are not. Your business is valued at that sense, but you as an individual, you have to give yourself a certain amount. And let's say that certain amount is 50,000, 100,000, it's 1 million per month, whatever that amount is that your business can pay you. That's the lifestyle that you have to live according to. You have to live according to the salary that you get from your business, not the proceeds that your business gets. Those are not yours. Remember I said, guys, your business is a separable entity. It's a person from a legal point of view. It's a juristic person. that money belongs to your business, does not belong to you. Yes, as a shareholder, you own that money, but that does not mean that benefits have transferred. Because if they transfer, then you're triggering all those tax situations that need to be triggered. So at the end of the day, if you give yourself a certain amount of salary, then go by all means, ball out, you know, I don't know, do the most with that money, because SARS and the Hawks won't be coming after you if you're out here, enjoying your best life, Instagramming every minute of it and showing people your lavish cars from a salary that you have used and paid to get those nice things. A case in point, before I stop this video, is someone like Somizi. Somizi is not, from my point of view, I'm speaking under correction, but from what I can see as an outsider, he earns his money from idols, earns quite a lot of money, and that money he's already paid tax on it because it's a salary to him, right? It comes to him having SARS observed their tax obligation on that money. I believe so, because at the end of the day, that's why he's able to show off his lifestyle. He's showing off, buying Lamborghini 4X4s. He's out here buying, Mercedes, SUVs and all sorts of things. And at the end of the day, his money has been accounted for, assumedly, right? Because I don't know, tomorrow then something happens. But all I'm just saying is, I've heard him on one of his cooking shows that he did say, once you go through the SARS situation, never again. You make sure that these things are taken care of and you do not want to get into trouble after the fact. And once again, it goes back to that pre-planning. You have to do things before, guys, not after as a matter of reaction. Planning is key. And then all of these that I've said, that I've mentioned, you will not get into trouble with SARS or the Hawks. Alright guys, so yeah, I mean, that's my list of things to help you out in terms of whether SARS or the Hawks are actually targeting black people. And for me, I believe once you've gone through the whole list, you realize that the answer is actually no. They don't necessarily just target you just simply because you're making a noise in terms of your lifestyle. There are actually quite a number of things that they do consider, and all of these things build up a case against you, and that's why they get the confidence to go after you, because at the end of the day, they're using state resources to persuade, whether it's corruption or to persuade non-compliance. And remember guys, as I keep on saying, non-compliance is a choice, simply because if you're not using services like bribe planning or any accountant or tax practitioner for that matter, you are planning to be non-compliant. You're putting yourself in a situation whereby you're getting into business for the wrong reasons. You're getting into business to effectively not do business. I mean, part of owning a business is having a worthy accountant, just like bribe planning, to assist you and do the right things. Because if you're going in, having been prepared, there won't be any surprises. You can live the lavish life that you want to live, no problem, because you work hard and you deserve it. But make sure that your tax compliance at least is sorted out, because that's one of the things that red flags the authorities and they start coming after people. In essence guys, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. See you on the next one.